generation Pokemon in my Pokedex. So the Kanto region. Kanto. But when we were at Magneton, my memory card was full. So this is part 2 of my Pokedex, the Kanto region. I think I will probably also make a part 3, because the first half contained a lot of Pokemon that are not very interesting, if I can say that, like Hatata, or Kakuna, Jigglypuff, Clefairy, Venonat. Those aren't really Pokemon I can say a lot about, and I feel like the second half of the Kanto Pokedex is way more interesting, and I have way more stories to share with you. So without further ado, let's get started. The first Pokemon after Magneton is a very interesting one already. It's Farfetch'd. And the reason why that one's interesting is because it's a regional Pokemon that you can usually only find in Asia. Now, I didn't travel to Asia. I got my first Farfetch'd during the special weekend that we got as a reward of the first global challenge. The first global catch challenge. In November 2017. That was one weekend in which Farfetch'd was made available worldwide, and so I really jumped upon that opportunity to catch as many Farfetch'd as possible, and I got quite a few from November 2017. And then I also got a few in September, October 2018, when the regionals were temporarily available in 7km X. But at that point I already had a bunch of Farfetch'd. Okay. Next up, we have Dodua, and Dodrio. This Dodrio is quite useful for Great League because it's just under 1500 CP. I say that, but I will admit I've never used Dodrio in Great League. But theoretically, I could. Then we have Seal, which is 98%, and Dugong. Then we have Grimers and Mucks. So I have a few Alola Grimers 96%. Those are really good IVs. Also got a Lucky Grimer because we do trade a lot of these Alola Pokemon that come from 7km eggs because they usually have quite some distance when it's an egg from a different country, for instance. So we trade those Pokemon for the distance, and then we end up with these lucky Alola Pokemon. I really like Muck actually to put in a gym from time to time because, first of all, Alola Muck looks really funny, but also many people actually don't know what Pokemon to use against poison, and so they're really confused, and I like that. In case you're wondering what to use against poison, it's Psychic and Ground. Ground, Psychic. But if you use a Psychic, you can use a Muck with dark moves, like Dark Pulse, which in turn is good against Psychic. So it's a really fun Pokemon to put in gyms, or even to use in PvP. Then we have Shelter and Cloyster. Cloyster used to be my OG ice attacker before we had Articuno. Before we had Mamoswine. Cloyster was my OG ice attacker to swipe those Dragonites out of the gyms back when we had the old gym system even. So I loved Cloyster. I have transferred a lot of them by now because I now use other ice attackers, but it used to be very valuable for me. I have this one with 2 ice moves, another one with 2 ice moves, another one and another one. Like I say, I use them as ice attackers. Then Costly, Hunter and Gengar. We had a Gengar Day, November the 3rd of 2018, where you got to battle against Gengar in raids for 3 hours with the chance of a shiny Gengar. Shiny Gengar. I got so many Gengar, and while I usually don't like to transfer my Pokemon, as you know, I did transfer many Gengar, and I just kept the really good ones I've treated are 96%, 96, and I got 1 shiny during Gengar Day. 1 shiny. I think we did about 14 raids until everyone in our group had a shiny. In terms of moves, the Gengar from Gengar Day has exclusive moves, Lick and Psychic. Also got a Lucky Gengar with Lick and Psychic, and then the shiny one has Lick and Psychic. Those actually aren't the best moves in my opinion. I think Gengar is most useful as a full ghost attacker. It is a glass cannon, but it does a lot of DPS as a ghost attacker. But I currently only have 1 Gengar with 2 Pokedex and Shadow Ball. I also have a Gengar with a Poison move, a Poison Charge move, Sludge Bomb, and one with a Fighting move, Focus Blast. So I have a great variety of charge moves on my Gengar that's fun to use in PvP and surprise your opponent. But for raids, the ghost one is the only really useful one. I have not yet changed the charge move of the 96% ones with Psychic because I do not have many charge TMs these days. But also, I do have a Mewtwo with Shadow Ball that I like to use as well. So if I one day have plenty of Stardust and plenty of charge TMs, I will definitely give some of these Gengars Shadow Ball. Next up, Onyx. There's no reason why I should keep 4 Onyxes. But he's quite rare, not as much as he used to be. He can nest. So I still think he's a cool Pokemon. I like to keep a few around, but he's not useful. Then Drowsy, and Hypno. I have some Hypno with a Fighting move and one with 2 Psychic move. So this one with Confusion and Focus Blast, one with Confusion and Future Sight, and another one with a Psychic moves and Butthead and Focus Blast. But that one is under 1500 CP, so can be used in PvP Great League. I do not have a shiny Drowsy yet, or a shiny Krabby. Actually, I completely missed the news that shiny Krabby existed. I only found out like a short while ago, and I was very surprised. I had completely missed that news that shiny Krabby is in the game. So I have been checking my Krabbies, the wild Krabbies I mean, but no shiny yet. Krabby and Kingler. Then Voltorb, and Electrode. I feel like Voltorb was very rare until the field research tasks were introduced, and now you get him quite often as a reward for a field research. But before that, Voltorb was quite rare. I have a 96 Electrode that I definitely evolved from a Voltorb from a quest, but never use Electrode. Then Exeggutor and Exeggutor. Exeggutor is also one of those OG Pokemon. I'll show you. I think this one. Yeah, it's my oldest Exeggutor that I have. As you can see, it's from August 2016. It's one of those OG Pokemon that I used to put in gyms as a defender. And every time I would, my trainer level would rise, I would power up my Exeggutor as much as possible, so that, yeah, I could keep using him as an attacker and a defender. Now these days I don't use Exeggutor anymore, but I definitely have some good memories. Yeah, I have a 96%. I even have a 98%, but I'm not gonna power those up. I have some Alola Exeggutors. What's nice about some of them is that it has a 3-bar charge move, which can be somewhat useful in PvP if you want to just keep pumping out those charge attacks. But I don't really use this Pokemon. It was very useful when I still didn't have my Dragon type badge. So my Dragon type badge, I think, was the last one I needed. I still needed not a lot, maybe 20, when the Alola Exeggutor was introduced. And so because of him, I got my badge. My golden dragon badge. Then we have Cubone and Marowak. Cubone, 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 and Marowak, 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 Cubone, Cubone, Marowak. Well, you get Cubone all the time these days from research tasks, which is why I have a 91 and a 93%. I do that field research task. It's use 5 raspberries to catch a Pokemon, or to help catch a Pokemon. I do that one quite often because it's very easy, and a Cubone can be shiny. I don't have him shiny yet, but I hope one day I will. And then Alola Marowak, one weather boosted one that I got from a raid. I don't want to show him. I think Alola Marowak is so cool. Look. And then I kept another one, a non-weather boosted one, 91%. Also from a raid, of course, because you can only get them from raids. I think it's a really exciting Pokemon. It's really cool. I love what it looks like. It's also quite a challenging raid. It's not super easy. You can't do it with 2 people, for instance. And it can be shiny. So I really enjoy Alola Marowak. Then Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I now have some good IVs. 93 Hitmonlee, 93%, another one 93% Hitmonlee, 91, and then for Hitmonchan it's a bit less, but I have a 96%. Now, I don't remember which one I had first. I think a Hitmonlee, but they used to be super rare. I think I found one Hitmonlee in the wild, and then I had to, I think, if I remember correctly, evolve a Hitmonchan from a Tyrogue when Gen 2 was already out, because I hadn't found one, and I definitely have never hatched one from an egg. But I got a Tyrogue that I then evolved into Hitmonchan. And then when weather boosts were introduced into the game, we got to see them a little more often, like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, when fighting types were boosted. So that's nice. But they were definitely one of the gaps I still had in my Pokedex for a long time. Singed. not much more to say about that. I evolved one into Licky Licky recently, which you probably, hopefully, have seen in my Sinnoh evolution video. Next, wheezing and coughing, and wheezing and coughing. I don't think those are very interesting. It's another poison type Pokemon, but I prefer to use Muk or Nidoking. There you go. Then I have way too many Rhyhorn and Rhydon, but when they have such high CP, I have a hard time transferring them. Because they now evolve into Rhyperior in Gen 4, and yeah, I like that. I got a lucky Rhyhorn, and I got quite a few Rhydon. Some evolved from Rhyhorn, some from raids. Rhydon was definitely one of those Pokemon, those OG Pokemon that I would use as a defender in the original gym system. So Rhydon has served me well. Chansey. I have way too many Chansey. You should have expected that by now. I love Chansey. I have a few wild ones, a few from eggs. I really like Chansey. I like to put it in gyms when there's already a Blissey. I love that you barely have to feed Chansey. Its health goes down very slowly. So his heart, little heart, stays full for days. I love that. I have already transferred some Chansey or traded some Chansey. Believe it or not, when it has literally 14 CP, I'm not gonna keep it. And yeah, I've traded quite a few, but I still have a lot left. Got a lucky one, 91% over there. And another lucky one, 87%. This video is already quite long, so I suggest that we keep the rest of the Kanto Pokemon for a part 3. Do you have a fun story about when you caught a particular Pokemon? Or do you have a specific memory with a certain Pokemon? I would love to hear that story. As always, I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you soon.